Hey everybody. I hope everybody's doing all right, man. So I woke up feeling like people from past in my life aren't doing so well, and I just want to say this. The kratom and the kava kava, yes, it got me into a very dark hole. But I've said this before. I'm gonna say it again. It did bring me out of an even darker hole. Because before I was taking the kava and the kratom, I was drinking in excess of a case of beer every single day, night, as often as I could. So yeah, we're talking like, in the 20 to, about, 18 to 20 drinks, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. And at nighttime, I would really start having trouble fucking breathing. Like I remember being all shit faced and like trying to go to sleep and still being fucked up and like, whoa, man, like I'm really like I could feel my respiratory like fighting to keep going type shit. Like I could tell if I kept this cycle going that there's a good chance that I might not fucking, be around much longer. And that's just the respiratory damage. Like there's also what it does to your liver. And I'd already done had liver issues. Now the good thing with the liver is it's really good about repairing itself. So if you can catch, the damage that you've done before it gets to a certain point, you can reverse just about, all the damage. As long as you stop doing what you're doing that's causing the damage, obviously. And then if you eat foods that are good for your liver, that's going to help promote good health. Food's a big deal. Like eating shitty foods, that's real bad in your liver. So you got to, this is why when you're drinking, especially, it can be really bad because a lot of the times people, I know myself, when I was drinking, I used to love eating fucking big old, fatty, indulgent meals. Like that's one of the things you look forward to. Well, I mean, sometimes there's different stages of alcoholism. There's also the alcoholism where you can't really even eat much. But, hopefully I'm just saying though, like alcohol in itself, like it's just horrible on the body. It destroys the organs. Like you got to think from a spiritual, energetic perspective, like continuing to consume alcohol like all the time, like not only is it like you're getting belligerent and disorient, like just what it does to you, and like it makes you kind of loopy and all over the place, and you can't fucking walk straight. I mean, everybody will get to a point to where they're gonna have issues walking and coordination. Some people are better than others, but it will fuck with your abilities to like operate vehicles and walk and talk and do everything. It's just really bad. Like so. I really encourage people if they're dealing with, especially with alcohol. I found for me, using these herbs, kratom and kava kava, if you've got a real hardcore drinking problem, those herbs helped me get off of drinking. And the thing with drinking too is it kills your energy. So like you don't have much energy to go out and do extra shit. Like it makes working difficult. Like the kratom's great for working. You can exercise on kratom and kava kava. It's just like it's much easier to get shit done, I found, when I was using these herbs as opposed to drinking all the time. It also helps you lose weight. It's a natural fucking, it does something to your appetite where you don't feel as hungry, which is kind of cool. If you're trying to like lose weight, it helps you with that, and also gives you energy, especially if you use like the white mangda, the whitish. Like there's different types of kratom, like there is different types of weed, so there's different. They do it in colors, so like like I forget, but I know the white is for energy. So if you get like white mangda is what I used all the time. It's great for energy. It'll perk you up, give you some good energy, make you feel very euphoric, and it helped, man. And if you have to deal with any type of withdrawals, like if I mean, this shit will counter. At least for me, withdrawals. Like I was fine. Like this shit gets you. I mean, it's a lot like an opiate. It really is. So if you had issues with opiates, just be aware that you're going to be consuming something that's very similar, to an opiate high. So that's why I ended up getting hooked on them herbs, and then I was finding myself into a whole nother level of addiction. But it still was much better. I mean, when I say another level, it's just another addiction. Yeah, I mean, but it still was much healthier for me and better for me all around, as opposed to when I was drinking. So it came to me earlier a little bit ago that a former friend of mine is, I could be wrong, I hope I'm wrong, but that he's really suffering, and I feel like it has to do with alcohol and like just not being able to get up and get out there and do shit. And if you can't go to a detox, if you don't have insurance or enough money or whatever the fucking issue is, I highly suggest you looking into herbs like kratom and kava kava. There's other stuff out there too, but I know those two in particular worked for me. And then, eventually you wean yourself off of those, and that's where I use marijuana, chamomile tea, coffee, and just slowly degrade from less potent things. You start with the super powerful, the alcohol, and you transfer to kratom and kava kava, then you transfer to herb and teas and coffees and things like this, and then eventually you get sober. I mean, that's the way that's my idea, and it seems to be working. Seems to be working pretty well. Now, the Suboxone has been a huge fucking factor in me getting off of the kratom and the kava kava, and I actually want to do a lot of research into Suboxone to find out like how they were able to do what the fuck they do, because it's a really interesting drug, because it really does take away my desire to like to use, but without getting high. It's really strange. Like, it doesn't really get you fucked up, because like if it did, I'd be abusing. I mean, that's my history. It's like when stuff makes me feel really good, I have an issue, except for marijuana, with abusing it. But for whatever reason, and I mean, I know there is a reason. It's because it doesn't get you high like that. But with the Suboxone, I mean, I initially had a little bit of an issue, but no, actually, it doesn't. I haven't been abusing them. Like, so I want to take less, because they really don't. They just numb you up. They don't really get you high. I don't really like just feeling numb. I like the good feeling that goes along with getting high. So for me, it's pointless to take more, because it doesn't really do shit. So, but anyway, Suboxone has been very helpful. Now I get hit with all these advertisements about how Suboxone's been linked to teeth decay. So it's like, fuck, dude, I gotta deal with that. But for right now, for me, it's like that damage is outweighing, the fact that it's helping me stay sober, to me, is more important than, worrying about little teeth damage. Like, I'll take that. If I can continue to, change my life for the better, and this substance is really helping me out for the extent, not forever, but for, maybe another few months, 6 months tops, I'll continue to use this drug to help me get my life in fucking a better place. And then, yes, I do definitely want to get off of it, and then also find an alternative that isn't as detrimental to people's teeth, so... It's also just very powerful, and it does a number of things. But anyways, I'm very grateful for it, so I don't want to talk too much shit. So yeah, man, I just, for people, I look forward to hopefully reconciling things and moving on, because I feel like, as I've said before, a lot of us, especially, I mean, everybody, people that I've known in my past, I feel especially came here for a very similar, if not the same reason that I did, is to help fight back against these malevolent aliens. So it's like, even though we've had a bunch of fighting and, shit and drama happen in the past, I think it's important for all of us, and myself too, and for you guys as well, to remember that we are all still here as humans, fighting on the same, hopefully we're all on the same side, the good side, the side that wants a good future for this reality, and that there is a force that is against that, and that we are here together to fight against that force, and to maybe focus on that being the most important thing. If we were able to do that, it might help us mend our wounds and, maybe be friends again. That's something that I do want. I don't want you guys to think that I don't want that. I do want very much to reconcile things with you guys, man. We had a lot of fun. We got a lot of, there's some drama and shit, but, the fun we had was fucking amazing, dude. And it's hard finding for, people like that. So the fact that we had so much fun in the past gives me confidence that there's a lot more fun to be had in the future, if that's something we want. But we got to fight for that, and part of that is, changing our ways so that we're living a good and healthy life. Because you can't really have that good fun if you're fucking around with all this drugs and shit. It just gets in the way. Like, we done tried that. Fucking, it's over with. I mean, for me, I know that dream doesn't exist. Like, trying to be like a demon and an angel, trying to play with these fucking sins and vices and still do good in the world. One way or another, it's going to eat you up. Like, you're just the least effective. You're not going to be as effective in your job if you're getting fucked up. And it is going to allow other spirits and energies in, which is going to fuck with your head and just make everything that much more difficult. So, but anyways, I feel like I'm rambling a little bit, but yeah, man, I hope everybody's doing all right. And if anybody's really ever hurting, my phone's always open, man, especially if you're really hurting and you just need, somebody to talk to or to listen to. for anybody, my door is always open for you guys. Okay. So, all right. I love you guys. I'll take care. Bye.